Okay. So we're going to quickly just touch a few areas real quick. So we'll talk about data governance real quick. Then later today, we'll do assessment on data governance and data security. We've talked about data security before, but we didn't do an assessment on it. So I'll just make us have a flair of assessment on uh, data security and data governance. You might find yourself in an organization that would talk a little bit about, okay, what is their data governance model? What does that mean in general, right? Anytime you hear the word governance, if you hear the word governance, what comes to your mind? Okay, somebody says security, regulation, people. I love who said oversight. Chop knuckle. Boom. Kevin, awesome. Administrative, awesome too. People, naturally. Admin, control, rules. I like rules, regulation, oversight. Mostly if I hear governance, I'm thinking oversight. Now, let's break it down. Who provides oversight? Leadership. Now we're talking of oversight of regulation, the rules governing what we do, the rules governing our data. So it's a big deal. The same thing if you are doing a project, they will ask you, do we have a governance model on this project? Do you have a project charter? Right now we're talking of oversight because don't forget all this distraction. At the end of the day, if I'm spending high dollar on a project, there must be a leadership oversight. Forget all the execution, technicians, tactical part of it, but the strategy part, few people sat down together and said, okay, we are working on the project because look at the value. So there's an oversight. The same thing for data. We all agree data is the new oil. So because data is so important and vital now, there should be some oversight. So governance is really a practice of ensuring that your organization, the data is accurate, reliable, secure, and accessible at the end of the day. I think we can all agree bad data equals bad decision at the end of the day. So you're only as good as your data point. That's the reality. For any business, any organization, you're only as good as your data point. If your data is bad, you will make continuous incremental bad decisions. Definitely. You're making a decision in good trade, but because your data point is so horrible, so you're going to keep making bad decision on bad data. So it means every one of our data, the quality of your data, okay, you're only as good as the quality of your data. You know, um, think for a second. Imagine GPS, right? Most of us use GPS. Think for a second. Humanity has evolved. We have evolved to a point we can get your position to centimeter accuracy. That is crazy. You know, um, my master's is in a field called geomatics, right? So GIS, Geographical Information System. And this is a field that we work on spatial data. You pick coordinates to centimeters. During my master's, right, we used to put GPS that had poles, all this, you can Google it. It has all these towers. You put it at the back, your back, then you start picking coordinates with like a tracker. So you pick the coordinates, you move on. If you're picking cleaner manholes, sewer network, you just go around, you just pick those coordinates, right? And it gives you to meters. Then I remember then my professor doing my thesis, he said, well, Google cannot come to that level of closeness of accuracy, right? A few 2 years down the road, during my final presentation, the guy looked at me and said, Aiken, yeah, man, I was wrong. Because 1 meter of accuracy then was like bingo, that was like heaven, right? Now we're talking of centimeters of accuracy. So what does that mean? It means if an airline we're flying, imagine if the accuracy was 1 meter apart. Think of a runway. if you are 1 meter out of the range of a runway, that means you're probably going to have an accident or a collision for sure. So you can imagine that. I'm saying that to say data is so key because if you have bad data, sometimes lives can even be at stake because of bad data. The same thing for those people that, for folks that go to the space, to the moon, everything when the capsule is launched back to Earth, imagine if the accuracy was missed by a meter. So instead of landing in the sea, lands on a rock or lands in a different location. So the ramification of bad data could be life threatening, right? So think it from that angle. Because sometimes you might think, oh, bad data is just, oh, bad data for sales, for making decision, for operation. Yeah, that can be bad, but it can actually be severe. It can be life and death. Then think, okay, let's, think about it, the accuracy of, and we've seen this happen in warfare. People launch a guided missile, and because of poor, bad coordinates, sometimes eats their own location, friendly targets. It has happened a couple of times, in so many conflicts. So data is so critical to be a quality data, or else, beside the risk in your day-to-day operation, sometimes the risk is life threatening in many organizations. So it's so critical. It's so vital. Now, the ones we are very open to, most of us, is okay, data for mining me, retargeting me for marketing and sales, which is what happens. I'm talking to you on the conversation right now. Before I get off my phone, get on the website or anything, you start seeing posts around things we talked about, because when you accepted your terms, your voice over IP was also part of what you accepted. So when they hear your voice and you're talking about a new shoe, suddenly that shoe starts feeding in your Facebook, WhatsApp, any kind of medium you have. It's not an accident. It's because a setting in your system enable them to actually do that. So data is so important. Because of that, organizations understand that data is money. They invest and spend a lot of time on the quality of the data. Can we all type data quality real quick if you don't mind? Just type data quality. Somebody said bad data. Yeah. Oh, I see that. A plane destined to Lagos landed in Ukraine. Okay, I don't know about that one. A plane destined to Lagos landed in Ukraine. Really? Wow. Okay. I didn't know about that, but that's messed up. But that's the reality, man. Bad data is so data quality is the live wire of a lot of businesses right now. They invest a lot of money in it. If the quality of, even for us as an organization, we invest a lot in having very good, effective data. Believe it or not, most of us that are in our ecosystem was because we use good data to bring you on board, right? We know, okay, you did some training before, you're looking for a way to kind of bridge the training. You have some background in IT before, you want to know more. So if we have horrible data, you probably, not even see us or have any business with us really. So the quality of the data determines how you can really serve your community better. So people know that, organizations know that, they invest a lot of money. People specialize in data governance. I have one of my buddies is one of the best in the world in this field, Dolly P. And he does data governance. That's all he does. It's a full class on its own. So I'm not pretending to tell you I'm a data governance guru. No, I'm not. But I'll tell you, I've helped him and supported him on data governance assessment kind of work. But he's a guru in that space. People specialize in data governance. That's all they do. But this program is not data governance, but I want to make sure when there's a conversation in your organization, you know what they're talking about, you get it, you're comfortable to talk around it, and you can function in that area if the need arise at any point.